why your customer service needs to be top-notch. Hello, it's a fresh new week. I'm out in the garden, I'm still at home in lovely England, and in fact it's just starting to rain, so better get on with this quickly, John. Introductions, sorry. Hello, nice to meet you. If you haven't been here before, welcome to the show. This is the Marketing for Owners podcast. My name is John Butt. I'm ever so nice, and I'm your host. And I'd like you to listen to all of them. There's been, I can't remember what number this is. There must be about 570 something. There's lots and lots of shows. We have short ones on Monday and Tuesday and Thursday, then expert interview on Wednesday, and ones to watch interview on Friday. You will enjoy it. And please, if you like to support the show, you don't have to pay, but I would encourage you, I would implore, I would ask if you wouldn't mind going on iTunes and giving the show a rating. Now, ratings help. It helps my ego. It tells me if you're enjoying it, but it also helps other people find the show, because the ratings helps Apple and iTunes say, ooh, people are watching this, people are listening to this, and they like it. And then others get to hear it. And personally, I think this is good information. What do you think? Go and give me a rating. So, back onto customer service. Now, this is one of my bugbears. I've talked about this often. Let me explain where I come from. If you are not giving great customer service to your customers, your clients, then you will be losing points in their mind as they're banking lovely points. You are having them withdraw lovely points in their mind. And so when something goes wrong, all those with lots of banked lovely points, they can forgive, but not when you've been withdrawing them. So, for instance, in a hotel, if you've ever stayed in a posh hotel, if you've been to a conference or something like that, and you stayed in a really nice one, a Radisson or a Hyatt or a Marriott or something beyond the normal Travelodge type of thing, then you'll find that service, or if you've been to a Disney one, service is amazing. It's great, or generally it's pretty cool. However, then you go to say a little bed and breakfast or something like that, or one where you get bad service, and you're much more likely to get it in a smaller one. Then it's very noticeable, and in fact, to the point that staying in a posh hotel, it's part of the enjoyment, is the quality of the service, the fact that nothing is too much for people, for them. Now, what I would say is, think of this in your business. What type of people are working in the posh hotel or working in the other hotel? Yes, people. They're just people. There is nothing wrong with the people in the cheaper hotel. It's just the systems and the training. They have not had systems and training of the same level. They're in banking. In banking, I use First Direct in the UK, and as a telephone bank, if you use them on the phone, they're amazing. Again, nothing too much trouble. You can ring them in the middle of the night, Christmas Day, anytime, and they're lovely. And they chat to you like a friend would. However, you speak to some of the other banks on the telephone service, in fact even HSBC that owns First Direct, and it's awful. And I just think, why on earth? Banks are huge, they've got millions. Personally, I'd go and headhunt the person that does the training and sets up the First Direct one, and go and put them in and get them to train all my people, because they're just people. They've been trained. They're not angels, they're not magical, mystical beings. And it's the same with your staff. It's the way they're trained, and it is how much you allow them to do, and it's trust. Now, one of the most famous companies in the UK for poor customer service is Ryanair, the airline. Now, they are a budget low-cost airline. And first of all, let me state, they are probably the most successful and most profitable airline in Europe. So Michael O'Leary has can perfectly well say, it works, who are you to complain? And in fact, he has very often. But about 3 years ago, and I wrote this down, I read this in an article, because I've been saying this for years, I've said, why do they have to be mean on purpose? Why can't they actually just be nice and have cheap flights? What does it cost to be nice? And about 3 years ago, they changed their tune. And I read an article recently, and I've got the details. And they changed to being nice. And Michael O'Leary has said, and I've got the quote there, he said, if I'd have known what being nice can do for business, I'd have done it years ago. But even the reporter says he quips because, he's being sarcastic about it. But yes, if you are wonderful to your customers, customers will like dealing with you. And that's quite important. Yes, it is. And all it takes is training and some effective delegation. Now, last month, I spent in January, I was talking mostly based on the why. I said it often, you need the why. Now, the Ritz-Carlton hotels, go back to hotels, they have a system whereby any employee is empowered to give up to, and wait for it, $2,000 worth of anything, refund, compensation, another service, a limo, or whatever it is, when a customer is not happy. $2,000, any employee. And you're going to say, what? No way. Well, then contact them and ask how many of those employees have given $2,000 away. And none. It doesn't happen because it's in the company culture. Because it's not because they're scared to, it's because they don't need to. But that's the whole culture. The culture is such that they're prepared to give that much away because they would be so disappointed. And this is because the people that work there understand the why. This is because they have been trusted, because they are treated like human beings, not like staff, not like cattle, not like us and them, not like management and staff. They are trusted. And I would just love for you to think that if you have a team, if you have an outsourced person, if you have staff, if you have, no matter what it is, trust them. They're just the same as you. You might say, no way, they're horrible. So another example, we do fire extinguisher maintenance. And I used to run a company called Triangle Fire with maintenance engineers. And I used to do it myself many years ago because I started it from scratch. And when you have all the calls, you'll have all the jobs for the month. Say the month of February, you have all the calls. And so if you can fit another one in at the end of the day, you'll pop it, and you're going past, you'll just pop in. You probably didn't know when you were coming, so you couldn't have rung them in advance. In fact, we didn't have mobile phones anyway back then. But you couldn't have rung them and made an appointment. Well, you probably could, but you could have, if you wanted, if it was not too much effort, you could have rung them and said, I will be trying to get you today. If it will be later in the day, so if not, it will be the next day. You could have done that, but isn't it easier just to pop in? So one of the reasons why we started our maintenance service from scratch, from absolute scratch, with no customers and not going back to existing customers or anything like that at Fire Protection Online, and we did over £100,000 in the first year, was because we get our engineers and we actually, when someone orders it, we phone them and tell the customer. We set their expectations, and we get the engineers to phone and tell them. And when they don't make it, when they get stuck in another job, we ask them if they wouldn't mind phoning to tell the customer they're unlikely to get there today, so don't wait in. Imagine if plumbers and electricians and everyone did that. Anyway, just think what that will do. Your customer service needs to be great, and for that you need to trust your staff to be able to give it, and you need to train them and show them how it is done. End of. Today's book for the week is a great one. It's called Conquering the Chaos. It is by what Michael Gerber lovingly calls the Infusionsoft boys, Clayton Mast and Scott Martineau. It's a thoroughly good book. It tells you how they got the company going and how it all works. And they now are a 9-figure business doing well over 100 million, heading towards $1 billion valuation. And it goes back to when they started. What's not to like? I'll be back tomorrow with another great tip for you.